everyone. Welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and here are 3 important things to pay attention to for the upcoming trading week. Now, we just finished our 5th consecutive week of upside gains for the S&P 500 and most of the broad market. So it's been in a tremendous rally for the last 5 weeks. Going into the end of the year, a lot of people expecting that Santa Claus rally. Will it continue? Can't tell you if that's going to continue. I can tell you that there is quite a bit of data coming out this week. And of course, as usual, we will start things off with the earnings calendar. And I know, it gets very light. We went from like 1,600 companies reporting earnings. This week, we only have 144 companies reporting earnings. Let's start off, not on Monday, because there's nothing happening on a Monday. We will start things off on Tuesday. You have AutoZone, NEO, and Toll Brothers. Now, typically, I don't put home builders in here. However, home builders have been doing absolutely amazing over the past couple of months. Now, you would think because of the rising rate environment that they might get beaten up a little bit. No, quite the contrary. Toll Brothers this week set an all-time high. Will that continue? Well, the earnings announcement will have something to do with that. We'll see how it goes on our Tuesday earnings call for Toll Brothers. On Wednesday, we have more. We got Viva Systems. You've got CPP. That's Campbell Soup. You've got Chewy, and of course, the meme stock GameStop. That's always an exciting one and entertaining when they report their earnings. On Thursday, you have Avgo or Broadcom, Lululemon, and Dollar General, and that, my friends, rounds out your earnings calendar for the week. Now, we want to talk about the job situation in the United States. Of course, the Federal Reserve, FOMC, Jerome Powell made it very clear that employment numbers are critical. Of course, that's one of their mandates, full employment. So we have 4 pieces of jobs data this week to talk about. Let's start off on Tuesday. It's a clean sweep, honestly. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Friday, you actually get a twofer. Let's start things off with our Tuesday announcement. That's going to be the JOLTS job openings, and that happens at Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. All of these times I'm going to show you will be Eastern Time. Moving on to Wednesday, you have the ADP non-farm employment change. That's at 8:15 a.m. on Wednesday. You next have the unemployment claims, which comes out every Thursday. This is probably the weakest of the 3 so far. That's Thursday at 8:30 a.m. And then on Friday, you get a double whammy with the unemployment rate and non-farm employment change happening at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So a lot of employment data this week. Again, 5 pieces of information. That's enough to move any market in any situation. But of course, a lot of eyes focusing on this because we've seen inflation start to decline. We've seen GDP growing. This is all good signs for our economy. The last shoe to drop may be that employment data. So all eyes on employment data this week. Now let's round things out with one more piece of critical data, and that is going to be rates. Yes, we're not talking about the U.S. We get ours in a couple of weeks, so we'll look at what's going on around the world. We start things off in the Southern Hemisphere with the Reserve Bank of Australia on Monday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So this is a late night one. Won't impact anybody that's trading the stock markets, but if you are trading the currency markets, of course, trading anything to do with the Australian dollar, this may be a volatile one. Right now, they are expected to stay at 4.35%. Now, remember, they raised the previous month. This may not seem that significant, but remember, for 5 meetings in a row, they held steady, and all of a sudden, they raised again. So most central banks right now are kind of on pause mode. Well, Australia raised at the previous meeting. Expectations are right now they're going to hold and pause again, but you never know. They may be full of surprises, as central bankers tend to be. Our next announcement, well, that's going to go to our neighbors to the north. The Bank of Canada will be making an announcement on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. They are expected right now to stay at 5%. So another situation where we have a central bank most likely going into pause mode. And of course, I think it's a kind of keep up with the Joneses environment where most central banks looking at the U.S. saying, are they holding? All right, we'll hold then too. So right now, no real big surprises expected to come from Australia or from Canada. If it does happen, you could see significant moves in the Australian dollar as well as the Canadian dollar. So be careful for all you Forex and futures traders out there. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must Knows. We'll see you next week.